The amount of free passes given up, you want that to be as low as possible and avoiding the back-to-backs. Pitching has done a better job of that of late, but Briskey's got to make sure to keep that rolling here today against a Louisiana lineup that's got weaponry 1 through 9.
That concludes the Alabama Softball pregame report presented by the Alabama Department of Public Health. First pitch is next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Finishing up her warm-up pitches, Alabama and Louisiana about ready to get underway. Alabama's first game here in the 2025 Spring Break Showdown. The defensive alignment for Alabama is Vandegrift in left, White in center, Pruitt in right, Ellisette at third, Hawkins at short, Hevlin at second, Dukeshire at first, and Giles behind the plate. Catching Briskey and Lex Papillo is the designated player. Maddie Hayden steps in, left-handed hitting center fielder. The first pitch from Jocelyn Briskey is slapped foul for strike one, and we're underway. Umpires for today's ball game: Hayes Lasher is behind home plate with Tanya Cash at first and Ken Jones, the third base umpire.
I'm just Ken.
Thank you for that. The 0-1 line, and that's a fair ball down the third base line. That's going to get into the left field corner. Rounding first and heading to second with a leadoff double is Maddie Hayden. And the Raging Cajuns have a runner in scoring position to start things off here in the first.
Well, this is not a big part of the Louisiana offense. They're last in the Sun Belt in doubles, but this is why Maddie Hayden is at the top of the order, because she does such a great job setting the table for somebody like Kayla Falterman who's about to come up. And that's her first double of the year. She's had a lot of success against Alabama, Hayden has, and now an early opportunity for the Cajuns.
Kayla Falterman steps in the first pitch. Pulls back the bunt. It's high for ball one. The first inning is presented by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Crimson Tide fans are reminded to stay up to date with all recommended vaccinations, including respiratory virus vaccines. Vaccinations against these viruses are important for everyone, so don't wait. Vaccinate. The 1-0. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Falterman batting .460. 23 of 50, 16 runs scored with 3 doubles and 9 RBIs.
And has now reached base still in every game this year after going 2 for 4 earlier today against Iowa in that 4-2 loss.
2-0 is a called strike on the outside corner. Falterman held up on a slap attempt, 2-1.
And Falterman, a player that Coach Alley was telling us on the coach call that has made it impossible to take her out of a lineup. She's been so productive.
2-1. That bunt is down, and the throw is going to be to first to get the out, and I believe she's going to be called for being out of the box, and she was a good step out. Now that the decision is Patrick Murphy's going to take the out. And doesn't Hayden have to go back to second?
I think he's taking the result of the play because it wasn't 2 strikes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So 5-3 the put out. Hayden moves to third. There's one away. Cecilia Vasquez stepping in. First pitch. Fouled away for strike one. Vasquez batting .377, 20 of 53, 10 runs scored, 4 doubles, 2 homers, and 21 runs driven in. Leads the team in RBIs.
Sunbelt preseason selection was 0 for 3 earlier today, though. Entered this weekend, 7th in the Sunbelt in RBI.
The 0-1 bunted at and fouled off at the plate on a squeeze play.
I'm shocked.
From Allison Habits.
Man. Well, we know that was her father's favorite play. You knew she was going to try and cook one up at some point.
Had Vasquez been able to get it down, it would have worked. Now it's an 0-2 count on her. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Brisky got over the rise, and there's 2 gone.
It's a really good job coming upstairs with that rise ball. Vasquez just kind of fell right into the trap. Good little bounce back by Brisky after that leadoff double.
So 2-out runner on third now for the first baseman, Emily Smith. First pitch to the righty. Right in there for a called strike. Smith batting .283, 15 of 53 with 10 runs scored, a double, leads the team with 5 homers and 15 runs driven in.
2 of 18 this year against SEC teams, does have a couple RBIs.
The 0-1. Touch low, 1-1. Alabama leads the all-time series 10-6 over the Ragin' Cajuns. The last meeting came back in 2022.
Oh.
The 1-1. Swung on a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That was when Alabama beat Louisiana 8-0 in 5 innings during the Mardi Gras Mambo.
Mambo.
In Youngsville, Louisiana.
Do you think Allie's played that song yet for her team?
The 1-2 pitch is fouled away. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tied 98-12 all time against the current makeup of the Sun Belt Conference. Another 1-2 on its way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts. Strand the runner on third, and Louisiana does not score here in the first.
Yeah, just a great job by Brisky mixing it up. Got the strikeout on the rise of Vasquez, and then that time go and drop low and in on Smith. And you knew it was going to work because she'd already been fooled a couple times in that at-bat on that same pitch. That's a really, really good response by Brisky after that leadoff double from Hayden.
For Louisiana here in the first, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played a half inning. Louisiana nothing. Alabama coming to bat here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Ragin' Cajuns and the Crimson Tide. And here is the Alabama Power starting lineup for Alabama as they are 16-6 entering today's game. 9-1 here at the Rhodes House on a 10-game win streak. After the win over Samford in the midweek 9-2 on Tuesday afternoon. Leading things off is Audrey Vandegrift, the left fielder. Larissa Pruitt, the right fielder, batting second. Lexa Pillow, Desiree player, batting third. Abby Dukeshire will play first and bat fourth. Batting fifth is Callie Hevlin, the second baseman. Brooke Elistad, third base, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Marley Childs, the catcher. First pitch to Vandegrift is in there for a strike. Salyn Hawkins, the shortstop, bats eighth, and Kristen White, the center fielder, will bat ninth. They'll face in the circle for Louisiana, the right-handed junior from Amarillo, Texas. The 0-1. Called strike 0-2. Transfer from Seminole State College, Bethany Noble. Noble on the year, a 5.44 ERA and a 2-3 record. 10th appearance and 4th start. That's low, 1-2. She has 1 complete game. She's pitched 28 in the 3rd innings, 36 hits, 23 runs, 22 earned. She's walked 18, struck out 30. Opponents batting .308 against Noble on the year. The 1-2 to Vandegrift. One hopper back to Noble, who bobbles it to start off with. The throw, though, is going to be in time to get Vandegrift for out number 1.
Yeah, and here's what you're going to see from Bethany Noble. Very, very spinny pitcher, can kind of work all parts of the zone. She's quite poised, and Allie was telling us nothing phases her at all. Very blue collar, doesn't seem to get rattled whatsoever. Had a bit of a tough outing against Mississippi State in the midweek, but obviously a lot of belief in her with her getting the start here today against Alabama.
Larissa Pruitt steps in. The first pitch hits the inside corner for a called strike. Pruitt batting .383, 23 of 60, 17 runs scored, 4 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 17 RBIs. The 0-1, outside, 1-1.
I guess she's like the one that's kind of cold right now. Larissa Pruitt, last 6 games, just 1 for 13 with an RBI. You know, that being said, a lot of the outs have been productive. Unfortunately, no chance to be productive with Vandegrift not on base.
Pruitt fouls that one off, a ball and 2 strikes. Another pitcher-perfect day here in Tuscaloosa. 71 degrees at first pitch. Some hazy clouds in the sky. The wind blowing straight out to right field. 1-2. Rise ball high that Pruitt holds off on. They'll check down. She didn't go. 2-2.
And we should note, sometimes gusting straight out. The wind has been a little bit of a storyline here this year because it's changed direction so much. And today, helpful for the hitters, not for the pitchers.
2-2. Pruitt with a fly ball to deep right field, but there to make the catch is Falterman for out number 2.
Well, a couple times in that at-bat, Noble threw in this pitch that's a little bit low and into her, and once Pruitt fouled it off, that time she actually kind of got the barrel there, but got too far under it. That'll need to be an adjustment as she makes her second time up.
So 2 out now, nobody on for the designated player, Lex Papillo. Papillo batting .371. 23 of 62, 13 runs scored. First pitch is in there on the outside corner. She's got 4 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, and 22 runs driven in on the season. Leads the team in RBIs.
Last 6 games hitting .333, but with 8 ribbies.
Now one's a touch low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The defensive alignment for the Ragin' Cajuns: Williams in left, Hayden in center, Falterman in right. Rowe at third, Vasquez at short, Lacano at second, Smith at first with White behind the plate. Crater's the DP. Oh, called strike. Somewhere around the outside corner. 1-2.
Makeup call, because the second pitch was, I thought, good. That one, not so much.
Noble looks in, the 1-2. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on. Here in the bottom of the first, no score between Alabama and Louisiana.
And just a nugget on that Louisiana defense. The thing that stuck out to me when poring over the stats, a ton of double plays. They've turned 18 this year.
That one comes in low, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That is second in the country in double plays per game. The Louisiana defense, not bad.
Payoff pitch to Papillo. It's outside for ball 4, and Alabama gets a base runner here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. For Abby Dukeshire. Duke batting .444, 20 of 45, 11 runs scored, 6 doubles, 2 homers, and 10 RBIs on the season.
Last 6 games, a .643 batting average of 4 RBIs.
First pitch misses inside, ball 1.
I think maybe most notably, we haven't seen her, as I knock on wood, strike out, I don't think, since Clearwater, honestly. I mean, she's seen it so well.
A little bit high, 2 balls, no strikes.
Everyone listening and watching is probably like, Gray, no!
Come on!
Don't say that. But it's a stat, and it's true.
The 2-0. Duke takes that one on the outside corner, 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Dukeshire with a fly ball to center, and that's down for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Papillo. She will stop there, and Alabama will have runners on the corners with 2 outs. First hit of the ball game goes to Alabama, and it's Abby Dukeshire.
Yeah, not much fancy about that piece of hitting. Just a pitch over the white. Duke got the barrel there. Didn't necessarily crush it, but just put it in a spot where they weren't and continues to stay hot. Now 10 for her last 15, and just since that 0 for 13 start has been a different player.
That will bring up Callie Hevlin. Hevlin batting .340, 18 of 53, 15 runs scored with a triple. Leads the team with 7 homers and 15 runs driven in. First pitch. Called strike. 200 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field. 6-foot wall all the way around in the outfield. That wind is really picking up. Blowing straight out. That one's line foul into the right field corner, 0-2.
And Callie has been ripping it too. 385 in the last 6 games, currently on an 18-game reach base streak. And, you know, one of the people who had a hand in the pregame ceremony honoring Allison Habits and Lacey Prejean, she gave the flowers to Allie. I'm sure that meant a lot to Callie.
The 0-2 is high, 1-2. Well, she, of everybody on the team, she spent the most time with Allie.
That's right.
As the only senior on this team that has been here her entire career. 1-2. Ground ball to third. Rowe is able to knock it down. The throw from her knees just in time to get Hevlin for out number 3 and to keep Alabama off the board here in the first.
Hit pretty hard. Great stop by Sam Rowe. And, you know, on the coach call, Allie said, Sam Rowe at the hot corner, man. She is just a firecracker on defense. That's exactly the kind of play where you see that show up. Really impressive for Louisiana to get out of that inning unscathed after Alabama generated something with 2 outs.
For the Tide, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We played an inning, 0-0 between Louisiana and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum. Open every day 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. We head to the second inning. No score between Alabama and Louisiana. Due up for the Ragin' Cajuns here in the second. It'll be Crater, Rowe, and Lascano. 5, 6, 7. Again, Jocelyn Bresky back out for her second inning of work. Louisiana had a leadoff double in the first, but Hayden was stranded on third. Alabama had runners on first and third with 2 outs and stranded those 2 runners. So both teams with runners on third stranded in the first inning. That one's fouled away. 4 strike 1 to Lainey Crater, the designated player. Crater batting .292, 14 of 48 with 2 runs scored, 2 doubles, and 9 RBIs on the year.
Crater faced Alabama in the Mambo back in 22.
The 0-1. High inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And also, don't forget, there was that game at Louisiana the day before the Mambo, and overall, Crater against the Tide, 2 for 2 with a double, couple walks, and a run scored.
The 1-1. Fouled away. Ball and 2 strikes. I wonder if she's just now thawing out from the Mambo like we are.
Maybe. I'm still not, There are probably some lasting effects.
The 1-2 pitch, a little bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of my favorite memories of the Mambo, if there are favorite memories, is being told by a listener that, hey, we can hear the wind in your microphones. Yeah, thanks.
Us too.
You're right. The 2-2. In there for a called strike 3. Upper part of the zone on the inside edge, and Crater's down on strikes, and that's 3 straight strikeouts from Jocelyn Brisky.
And as we go through the journey of figuring out Hayes' Lesher strike zone, seems pretty big. So we're going to see Jocelyn Brisky attack a lot of edges in this game, I think.
Sam Rowe steps in. The first pitch to her is low for ball 1. Rowe batting .236, 13 of 55, 5 runs scored, a double, a triple, a homer, and 6 RBIs.
Second year at in Lafayette at Louisiana after transferring from Florida.
1-0 is a high chopper up the middle. Hawkins steps back, makes the stop, and the throw just in time to get Rowe for out number 2.
High degree of difficulty. This was quite the slap swinging away. A high chopper. Only play for Hawkins was to retreat. Had to hurry the throw. That's why she's at short, because she can make plays like that. Really, really impressive stuff to get out a speedy Sam Rowe.
So 2 outs, nobody on now for Mia Liscano. First pitch to Liscano is low for ball 1. Liscano batting .351, 13 of 37 with 11 runs scored and an RBI on the year. Time called as a ball got away in the Louisiana bullpen.
Liscano transfer from Northwestern State following Lacey Prejean. This year against SEC teams, hitting .417. Also had the walk-off against Ole Miss.
Slapped and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on. No score here between Alabama and Louisiana in the top of the 2nd inning. The 1-1 pitch comes in low, 2-1. Two-one pitch, and that is grounded foul down the first base line. 2-2. That ball is lifted, foul ground, third base side, and Hawkins sticks with it to make the catch for out number 3 and retire the side. 2 really good plays by Salyn Hawkins in that inning.
Yes, I will give my half-inning medal to Salyn Hawkins. Something on the ground, something in the air. That was going to be really, really difficult. It was really difficult. And maybe the player who had the longest run and the toughest angle made the catch. That's pretty good work by Hawkins at short.
The Cajuns go down in order here in the second. 1, 2, 3. We move to the bottom of the 2nd inning, still scoreless between Louisiana and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Catfish 100.1.
The second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum, open every day 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. We head to the bottom of the second inning, still no score between Alabama and Louisiana. Due up for the Tide here in the second. Elistad, Giles, and Hawkins against Bethany Noble. Back out in the circle for Louisiana. And Brooke Elistad will lead things off, facing her former team. First pitch. Low and away for ball one. Elistad batting .317, 19 of 60 with 8 runs scored, 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 16 RBIs on the year.
As you mentioned, spent last year at Louisiana.
Put that button down. It's back to Noble in the circle. The throw is just in time to get Elistad for out number 1.
Well, that's the first time Elistad has tried that, and it really hasn't worked. And the reason it didn't was she didn't quite get the angle down the line she was looking for. It was supposed to be a drag bunt. Unfortunately for Elistad, went right back to Noble, and she fielded her position quite well. Also love how animated she is out in the circle. Great reaction after that out.
First pitch to Marley Giles is high for ball 1. Giles batting .264, 14 of 53, 13 runs scored with 4 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, and 13 RBIs. The 1-0. Hits the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, Marley trying to get into a rhythm. Last 6 games, just a .231 average, 3 RBIs. The hits have been pretty substantial, but fortunately the average probably not where she wants it.
That one comes low and in, 2-1. Head coach of the Crimson Tide is Patrick Murphy. He's in his 27th season as the Alabama head coach. An Alabama head coaching record, 1,293 victories, 381 losses, a .772 winning percentage. The 2-1 is a ground ball to short, stop made by Vasquez. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag. Smith lays down the tag. Giles trips over the first base bag. Looks like she's okay, thank goodness. And there's 2 gone.
Well, athletic play by Smith. And good to see Marley Giles trot off, because that could have been a little scary. Just somersaulted right there in front of Caleb Rowe. He kind of hung for a moment with that neck kind of crooked, but got up. Seems fine. That's good to see.
But the out is recorded. 2 outs now for Salem Hawkins, who takes the first pitch down the middle for a called strike. Hawkins batting .294, 10 of 34, 11 runs scored, and 3 RBIs.
2 of those RBIs coming in the last 6 outings.
That one's low and in, 1-1. Mercer in the third base box. Caleb Rowe in the first base coaching box. Last at man, the pitching coach. Sitting coach is Adam Arbor. Ryan Araya Murray is the coordinator of player development. The 1-1. Called strike 1 and 2. Director of softball operations is Jaden Spencer.
Here we go.
Athletic trainer AC Tinka. Strength and conditioning coach is Michelle Diltz. Nathan Sheehan, the sports information. The 1-2. Hawkins with a fly ball to shallow right, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Oh, the right fielder, Falterman, had the ball hit her in the face as she dove for it. The ball got away, and Hawkins strives for third, and she's going to be safe at third because of obstruction by Rowe.
Oh, Hawkins got a little bailed out there. Good effort by Falterman, but she didn't dive, so it's kind of weird how the ball got away so far. And then Hawkins should have been hosed, but the positioning of Rowe, I think, blocked third base. And now a quick meeting. I don't think we're going to see a challenge here from Allie, although she is going to go have a word with that umpire over at third base, Ken Jones.
But it was actually Hayes Lester, the home plate umpire, who made the call of obstruction.
I think Allie just had the same mix-up I did.
Oh yeah. It was a blooper to Falterman and right, and she didn't dive initially, but she did kind of slide for the ball.
Yeah.
And then went face first, and the ball bounced up and hit her in the mouth, and bounced away from her. And then Lacano came over from second and picked the ball up and threw a really nice throw to Rowe, but the throw pulled Rowe into the running lane, and Hawkins safe at third.
Currently ruled a triple for Hawkins, and we'll see.
Yeah.
They're going to talk about it, and then we'll see if Allie, I can't believe this is the first time in 9 years I've ever called an opposing coach by their first name.
Yeah.
We'll see if Coach Allie decides to issue the review, because review is available. Challenges are available for this game.
Is obstruction on the base paths a reviewable play?
Yes.
Okay. And now the umpires have gotten together and discussed it. Tanya Cash, the first base umpire, talking things over with Allison Habits. She was not involved in the play. But she's probably the crew chief, and yeah.
Louisiana is challenging the call at third base. It's now under review.
So it is a challenged play by the Ragin' Cajuns. This replay review brought to you by the Weekend Warm-Up. If you love behind-the-scenes stories with Coach Murphy, you won't want to miss Weekend Warm-Up on Selects Fridays this season. Inspired by Nick at Noon, this softball edition at Baumhauer's Victory Grill features a lunch buffet, Alabama softball bingo, a panel with Team 29 players and alumni, and unforgettable insight from Coach Murphy. Check out Alabama softball's social media pages for more details for Weekend Warm-Up, which will be coming up next weekend.
That's right. Our alumni guest will be Kayla Beaver. Not sure who the current players are, although I have a guess of one of them. And it's always a lot of fun. You know, I believe there are a few tickets still available. Check out all the social media handles. I'll probably tweet something at some point over the weekend and certainly going into next weekend. So come hang out with us. We do a little trivia, a little bingo, a little conversating, which is not a word. Conversing is. And, you know, it's just a great way to get you ready for the weekend and get you ready for what's going to be suddenly quite the series with Mississippi State, especially depending on what the Bulldogs get up to this weekend at home against Auburn.
Finishing up the support staff for the Crimson Tide, the video director is Scott Moyer, the equipment manager is Sue Moore, and the staff photographer is Kent Gidley. For Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns, their head coach is Allison Habits.
Who?
Have you heard of her?
Oh, my.
In her first season back at her alma mater, Shelly Landry, assistant coach, Lacey Prejean, and assistant coach Shelby Sunseri.
If you're just joining us and you don't know us, that was a joke. We know
Yes.
Allie quite well. And I want to tell a story about Lacey Prejean as well that Coach Allie told us on her retirement podcast that we had on Out of the Box a few years ago. But I'll wait until Tanya Cash tells us the call.
She's going to explain things to Patrick Murphy first.
I don't necessarily love what that means.
After review, she was clearly beaten by the throw from no instruction. We have an out.
Well, there you go.
The she's hosed clause comes into effect. I will say this, you know, we're doing the coaching staff, so I didn't want to interrupt, but on the one look we did see, in the back of my mind I was wondering, was she just straight up hosed? Because Salem was about 3 steps away from the bag. That's kind of the first time I've seen it applied. So good to know that that is something that can be impactful, and a review works out well for Allison Habits and not for the Tide. I'll tell my Lacey Prejean story later.
For the Crimson Tide here in the second, no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left. So for Hawkins, that'll now be a double with a 6-5 putout at third base. We've played 2. No score between Alabama and Louisiana here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama and Louisiana. The third inning is presented by Bojangles, the new and improved Bojangles app. Bring the flavor to your tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings by downloading the Bojangles app to order ahead for tailgates and whenever it's bow time. It's not a tailgate without Bojangles. We move to the third inning. No score between Alabama and Louisiana. Due up for the Raging Cajuns here in the third. It'll be White, Williams, and Hayden against Jocelyn Brisky in the circle for the Crimson Tide. And here to take you through the third inning, I turn things over to my partner, Gray Robertson.
Why, thank you, Tom. Savannah White will start things off against Brisky. And a first pitch ball to White. Hitting .237 on the year, 9 of 38. 4 doubles, 4 ribbies, 6 runs scored. Campbell transfer. The 1-0 is fouled off, 1-1. I will briefly hold my Lacey Prejean story, but the time is coming. Glad that you're with us. Whether you're listening on the Crimson Tide Sports Network or watching on SEC Network Plus, welcome. The 1-1 to White is cued over to short. Hawkins has it, throw to first in time. Quickly one down here in the third. Now bringing up Deja Williams, sophomore out of Alexandria, Louisiana. .357 average on the year, 5 of 14 with a double. First pitch. Misses for ball 1. Williams this year against SEC foes is 3 for 4 with a strikeout. So when she's put in play against SEC teams, it has gone well. 1-0 from Brisky. And their first strike, 1-1. Now the 1-1 is slapped back to the circle. Brisky has it. Throw to first. Will secure out number 2, and this is going quite well for Brisky as Louisiana sends it back to the top of the order, and Maddie Hayden, who doubled her first time up. Was left stranded at third base in that first inning. First pitch from Brisky. Slapped foul. Second game of the day for Louisiana. Fell to Iowa earlier 4-2. 0-1. Misses, 1-1. The 1-1 is low. 2 balls and a strike. Nobody on, 2 outs. No score. Top 3. Bama, Louisiana. Tide's first game of the day. Iowa will be the foe a little bit later on tonight. 2-1 to Hayden. Hit down the left side, and that'll drop foul in front of Vandegrift. 2-2. Now the 2-2 from Brisky. That's away, full count.
Some groanings from the crowd on that one. I thought that was pretty far outside.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Good to see everyone's awake. Payoff from Brisky. That's high. There's ball 4. And for the second time today, Maddie Hayden has reached base for the Raging Cajuns after the 2-out walk.
I'd say I think it's important for Alabama to not allow Louisiana to build momentum after the way the last inning ended. Brisky did a good job getting a couple ground outs first to do that.
Kayla Falterman takes ball 1. She laid down a sac bunt in the first. Hayden can run. 9 stolen bases this year. 1-0 is a strike, 1-1. Now the 1-1, slap to short. Hawkins has it, over to first, inning over. 2-out walk does not hurt Jocelyn Brisky, and Tom, right now the sophomore is just motoring in the circle through 3 innings.
Yeah, she's rolling pretty well, and also Salem Hawkins, the sophomore at shortstop, continuing to make not just the plus plays, but the routine plays. So good to see that so far defensively.
Now we'll see Alabama come back to the plate in this scoreless game when we return. Alabama 0, Louisiana 0, going to the bottom of the third here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The third inning is presented by Bojangles and the new and improved Bojangles app. Bring the flavor to your tailgate with chicken, biscuits, and fixings by downloading the Bojangles app to order ahead for tailgates and whenever it's bow time. Tom, when is bow time?
It could be any time.
It could be all the time. It's not a tailgate without Bojangles. And it's not a return for Allison Habits if it's not a little interesting because we're all tied up at 0. Going to the bottom of the third. Alabama, Louisiana. Tide will have 9-1-2. White, Vandergrift, Pruitt due up against Bethany Noble back out in the circle. And Kristen White will take ball 1 to start things off. She's hitting .364 on the year. 16 of 44, 17 runs scored. Does have 4 RBIs. Hitting .545 in the last 6 is White. The 1-0 from Noble. Bunt laid down. Rowe will field. The throw to first is in time for out number 1.
Both teams were seeing the defense really do a good job of making the execution plays. That was another one there by Rowe, charging in from third to make that stop and throw. Had to be precise with Kristen White at the plate for sure.
Got to be precise too with Vandergrift back up 0 for 1, and she swings at the first pitch for strike 1. I think it's time for my Lacey Prejean story, Tom.
Oh, sure, yes.
Yeah, so in a lot of ways, Lacey Prejean is the reason why Allison Habit stayed at Alabama for 25 years. 0-1, pulled back, or maybe she didn't. Maybe it was a strike, I don't know. The count's 0-2. I think Patrick Murphy's confused. Was it the location, or did she not pull back the bunt? She did not pull back the bunt.
Okay.
No balls and 2 strikes. Now the 0-2 from Noble. High, 1-2. So she told us a story on the pod. Lacey Prejean, Louisiana girl, recruited by Allie and Murph to come play at Alabama. 1-2 to Vandergrift. This is in 2-2. And this is where the story's fuzzy. I need to go back and listen. It was either Lacey or Lacey's parents said to Allie, well, you're going to be here for all 4 years, right? And Allie's plan was come coach at Alabama for a few years and then go to law school. 2-2 to Vandergrift. That's lined out to center and down for a base hit. Speed aboard for the Tide with 1 out. And just to put a button on it, Allie told the Prejeans, yeah, I'll be there. And then she didn't leave for 20 more years and until she went home to take care of her mom and had this blessing of a job open up for her 20 minutes from her house. But I always thought that was so cool that Lacey Prejean, in a way, is why Allie stayed at Alabama, and now Lacey on staff with Allie at Louisiana.
It is just a great connection.
First pitch to Pruitt is in there for a strike. Vandergrift took off, and the nation's leader in stolen bases entering today has another. She's now 28 of 30 on the season.
Alabama already surpassed the stolen base total from last year. Alabama, the team leader in home runs, had 7 last year. Callie Heflin already has 7. The hitting is there.
Yeah. 0-1 to Pruitt. That misses low and away, 1-1. Larissa 0 for 1 with a flyout in this game. Wind still just blowing straight out. 1-1 misses in on the curve. 2 balls and a strike on Pruitt.
Alabama in the very clean all-white uniforms today.
I dig it. 2-1. Larissa grounds that towards second. Lascano's got it. The flip to first is in time by about a step and a half. 2 gone as Vandergrift takes third.
Another productive out there by Larissa Pruitt. I know that she's wanting the hits to come, and they will come back here at some point. But she is at least moving the runners.
Problem is a lot of the outs have almost looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of those type ground outs. Vandergrift at third, though, for Papillo, who takes a first pitch strike. Lex walked back in the first inning.
We have the white jerseys with the crimson script Bama across the chest. White pants and crimson socks for the Tide.
0-1. Fouled down the left side towards the Cars. No balls and 2 strikes.
Louisiana in the all-red uniforms. Red jerseys with Cajuns and script white across the chest. Red pants and white socks.
0-2. Papillo lines that out to left, but coming over from center is Hayden to make the catch and in the inning, and that is a 3rd straight inning where no runs in for the Tide, but they've had a base runner either on second or third. Second inning, obviously, it would have been third if not for the change obstruction call, but not quite getting that hit to get something on the board yet.
Yeah, just the hits are there. It's just you got to get them at the right time, and Alabama just hasn't been able to do that as of yet here today.
And we're still tied up at 0 going to the 4th. Alabama and Louisiana here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The 4th inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. We're still tied up at 0 here in the 4th. Due up for Louisiana, Vasquez, Smith, and Crater against Jocelyn Brisky back in the circle. And Tom, as I pass it back to you, Coach Murphy told us Brisky maybe 3 innings and then we'll see everybody else. But based on what we've seen, you really can't take her out because she's been pretty darn good.
Yeah, she has held Louisiana just the 1 hit through 3 innings. And Cecilia Vasquez to lead things off here in the 4th. She struck out her first time. Fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. Brisky, 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. 41 pitches and 26 strikes entering this game. Or excuse me, entering this inning for Alabama. No runs on 3 hits, no errors, 3 left. For Louisiana, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. Swung on a miss. No balls and 2 strikes now on Vasquez. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded foul. We'll do it again. No balls and 2 strikes. Game 1 of the spring break showdown was Iowa 4, Louisiana 2. Alabama continues play in the spring break showdown coming up next with Tide taking on Iowa. We'll have official airtime and first pitch time coming up following the conclusion of this matchup. The 0-2 pitch. Rise ball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Another 1-2 on its way. This one is fouled off. Elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, coming up at the top of the hour will be first pitch. 5:45 the airtime. Alabama baseball opening up a 3-game series against the Blue Hose of Presbyterian. The ball is popped up on the infield. Right-hand side. The catch is made by Hevlin at second base, and there's one gone. Bring up the first baseman, Emily Smith. So, Bama fans, be sure to catch Hey Coach in the Nate Oates Show, presented by Alpha Insurance, live from Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Tuscaloosa. That pitch is inside for ball 1. Monday nights, 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. 1-0 pitch to Smith. Called strike, 1-1. In addition to that, Crimson Tide Sports Network coverage continues with Crimson Drive Thursday afternoons on all Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets. The 1-1. Low, 2-1. Crimson Drive is live each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time, so be sure to join host Roger Huber for the latest on Alabama athletics. 2-1. Ground ball that gets past Brisky into center field for a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for Louisiana, coming here with 1 out in the 4th.
Yeah, Brisky trying to attack in on the hand. Smith got a little bit jammed, but still was able to send it right back up the middle, right on time, just past Hevlin. Good job by the freshman, adjusting a little bit after her first at-bat.
First pitch is a ground ball to short. They'll throw to second for 1, and Alabama cannot turn the double play, as Hawkins probably should have taken that herself. Might have had an opportunity to turn that double play.
Yeah, the problem is Hevlin was already there, so it just got awkward. That was a little bit of a lack of communication, and what should have been a double play, fortunately just went out. You hope that doesn't come back to bite you.
So now 2 outs for Sam Rowe, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. Rowe's 0 for 1. She grounded out her first time. 2 out now, runner on first. The 0-1, that is a ground ball to second. Hevlin's there. She makes the underhand toss to Hawkins for out number 3, and it doesn't come around to hurt the Crimson Tide here in the 4th.
Everything's fine. What do you mean? I mean, Brisky just continues to hit her spots. We talked in the open. I was watching for command. The command has been there from the first pitch tonight, and it's been really impressive to watch.
For Louisiana here in the 4th, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, still 0-0 between the Tide and the Ragin' Cajuns here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The fourth inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. We head to the home half of the fourth inning, 0-0, Alabama and Louisiana. 2 up for the Tide here in the fourth. It'll be Dukeshire, Hevlin, and Elistad. 4-5-6 against Bethany Noble in the circle for Louisiana. Noble has gone 3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. 47 pitches, 28 strikes thrown by Noble. Alabama's gotten hits. They've gotten runners in scoring position, but have not been able to get anybody across yet. First pitch to Abby Dukeshire is popped up in foul ground. It'll get out of play for strike 1. Duke had 1 of those hits. She got a single back in the first inning.
But maybe the thing that sticks out to me the most, Alabama has yet to have a leadoff reach in an inning. So all those hits have come with either 1 or 2 outs. Love to see Duke start the inning with something.
That one's outside, 1-1. The 0-1, Duke fouls that one away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dukeshire, the junior from Kindred, North Dakota. Trying to get started here in the fourth inning. 1-2. Duke holds off on the rise. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's time now for our first scoreboard update of the ball game. Brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast.
Those guys.
You got a mini Out of the Box podcast if you were listening to the pregame show. That one is a little bit low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box podcast, part of the Softball America Podcast Network. Wherever you get your podcasts, give us a follow at outofthebox_pod on the X. Like, subscribe, and share. Payoff pitch to Dukeshire is fouled away. We'll do it again. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So, Tom, let's dive into the scores, shall we?
Yes.
Down in Baton Rouge, top of the 6th, LSU leads South Alabama 2-0. In Athens, our first conference game of the year, top of the 2nd, Tennessee leads Georgia 2-0.
Another 3-2 to Dukeshire. Misses a little bit inside for ball 4, and Alabama does have the leadoff man reach base here in the 4th. Dukeshire with the walk.
We do have the pitching matchup for Missouri, Kentucky. It'll be Alexia Lacatena for the Wildcats, Marissa McCann for the Tigers. And still waiting on lineups for the next 3. Florida A&M, Arkansas Ole Miss, South Carolina, Oklahoma coming up in just a bit. We'll go over some out-of-conference stuff as the inning progresses.
Kinley Pate will come out to run on first base for Dukeshire. With Callie Hevlin stepping up. She's up for 1 with a ground out. We'll also keep you up to date with that baseball game against Presbyterian when it gets underway at the top of the hour. First pitch to Callie Hevlin is a called strike. Hevlin, senior from Three Rivers, Michigan, leads the team in homers.
And has that reach base streak.
Yep. A lot could be riding on this at bat. Takes that pitch outside, 1-1. The entire field now in the shade. Sun sets to our left on the third base side. The 1-1. Evelyn with a fly ball to shallow center, charging in and making the catch is Hayden. As that one went off the end of the bat for out number 1.
Yeah, reached a little bit for that one. And Pate handled that pretty well because that for a moment got scary. Thought that might drop in between all those Cajun defenders. So Pate kind of had to stay a little bit more off first base than you would like, but fortunately not a chance to move after the catch was made.
Now 1 out for Brooke Elistad. She grounded out her first time. First pitch fouled away for strike 1.
All right, out of conference games underway. They're in the top of the 2nd. Virginia leads Virginia Tech 3-0, excuse me. And bottom of the 2nd, no score, Duke and Clemson.
Need the Hokies to kind of
get
it going. Elistad lines this to left, and that is going to go off the left fielder's glove as she tried to make a dive on it. Rounding third and coming in to score is Pate, and standing on third base is Brooke Elistad, and the Crimson Tide lead at 1-0 here in the home half of the fourth. As Williams out in left field kind of got caught in between whether or not she should dive or not, made a late dive, and that cost her.
And I think also made kind of a late read. Didn't look like she got a very good jump on that. Maybe misread that in the air. I'm not quite sure what was going on. Did make the diving effort, but I think maybe decided to dive a little too late, like you said, and costly for the Cajuns. Good piece by Elistad, but the defensive woe allows Alabama to score.
First pitch to Marley Giles outside for ball one, and that is scored a triple for Elistad. First triple of the season for the Louisiana transfer. 1-0. Giles fouls that one away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, a bit of a storyline now. That's 10 triples. It was almost 11 earlier, but
Right.
Alabama's triple numbers way up this season.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much every offensive number is way up right now for Alabama. As Patrick Murphy calls the offensive timeout to talk things over with Marley Giles. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner on third. Alabama has taken the 1-0 lead here in the home half of the fourth off the RBI triple by Brooke Elistad. Giles, junior from Clanton, Alabama.
And with less than 2 outs, it won't take much to bring in Elistad. Anything in the air will get another run.
Giles swings and misses at the rise, 1-2.
That was very uncharacteristic from Marley, and you could tell by her face after. She was like, why did I just swing at that rise way up in the zone?
1-2 pitch. Giles swung at that one and drilled it out of here. 2-run shot for Marley Giles, and the Crimson Tide takes the 3-0 lead.
Well, Noble got the swing and a miss on a rise, so they tried it again. This one a little bit meatier, and the adjustment made. Marley got the barrel up there and just tomahawked it right over Bailey Hemphill and Allie Shipman on the wall and left. And that's exactly how you parlay the first run. You get that triple from Elistad. You don't want to be satisfied with just the one. You probably need a crooked number, which is something this offense has done really well this year. And Giles is able to get that crooked number with a 2-run shot.
That Bama home run brought to you by the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app. Keep up with everything Alabama. The Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Salyn Hawkins steps in. The first pitch is a called strike. Hawkins doubled her first time and tried to stretch it to a triple. Was thrown out at third on an overturned obstruction call. The 0-1. Hawkins jammed, popped it up on the infield. Foul ground, and Rowe will come in and make the catch. He tripped over White's foot, the catcher, but she's all right. The catch is made, and there's 2 gone.
Well, in another storyline this year, the 4th inning has been Bama's inning. You know, now with these 3 runs, outscoring opponents 45-3 in the 4th. No other inning is even close to that. I mean, this has been the frame where the pitching has been really, really good, and the offense has kind of exploded.
Kristen White steps in. The first pitch is a called strike. White grounded out her first time. Maybe it's the return to normalcy after you give it back to me for the 4th inning.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what it is. Slap foul 0-2.
I mean, the 3rd has been chaotic.
Right.
I don't know how to talk about the 6th.
Well,
that's been the ultimate hit or miss. But this is going to be a game, unless the offense really goes crazy, where you're going to have to finish it. You know, this doesn't have run rule vibes. You're going to have to go all 7.
That one is a slap to short. The throw is going to be in time from Vasquez to get the out. About a half step ahead of Kristen White for out number 3 to retire the side. Unfortunately, that slap was pretty much right to Vasquez. She was already playing in, so she had enough time to make the stop in the throw.
Yeah, I really like the strategy, though, of White going soft slap there because Vasquez was kind of playing a little back, and if that had any direction at all, White's on it. But really the impressive part there was the Vasquez throw because she had to whip that. Best part, though, 3 runs in for the tie in the inning, and now Brisky's got a little cushion.
For Alabama in the 4th, 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. We played 4, 3-0 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. The 5th inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Alabama with a 3-0 lead over Louisiana. Due up for the Ragin' Cajuns here in the 5th, bottom of the order. Lascano, White, and Williams. And the first pitch to Mia Lascano is fouled off. At the plate for strike 1. Lascano had a foul out her first time. Sophomore from Austin, Texas, the transfer from Northwestern State, as you mentioned, came along with Lacey Prejean, as that one is low, 1-1. Prejean only spent 1 season as the head coach at Northwestern before joining Allison Habits on the staff at Louisiana. The 1-1 is high, 2-1.
So we certainly hope that Allie coming on media days is not a sign, because the other non-SEC coaches who've come on have
That's true.
have left a couple years later.
Wow, the 2-1 swung on and missed, 2-2.
I will say this though, Allie's not going anywhere.
No.
You know, I would assume, I haven't asked her this, I would assume her plan is as long as she's coaching, she's going to wrap it up in Louisiana, however long that is.
2-2 pitch is low, and the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Slap to third. Elisad is there, makes a stop in the throw. There's one gone. We'll bring up the catcher, Savannah White. She grounded out her first time.
Catcher number 10, Savannah White.
Here comes the first pitch from Brisky. A little high for ball 1. Gray, do you know the date?
Rarely. It's Friday?
Yes.
Yeah?
That
Okay.
it is. We're playing the spring break showdown, so it's probably spring break.
Oh.
The 1-0 is low, 2-0.
Well, let me tell you this. I ran into a friend, Haley, who works at Crimson Tide Hospitality at Aldi this morning, and she reminded me that it is indeed spring break. And, you know, it's crazy. Once you're done with college,
Yeah.
You have no idea.
The 2-0 is a called strike, 2-1.
Now, I understand. Once you have kids, you are counting
Yes.
down to spring break, and then you are counting down for spring break to end, so they go back to school. But
Or if you work at a school.
yes,
So got both of those happening.
shout out to you, Tom.
The 2-1 is low, 3 balls and 1 strike. But it is March 7th, Greg.
Oh, okay, great.
On this date, Alabama 15-3 all time.
Pretty good.
It's a good record. Outscoring opponents 87-34. The 3-1 to White. Ground ball back up the middle. Nice snag by Brisky. Making the stop in the throw for out number 2. And Jocelyn Brisky grand larceny against White there, stealing the base hit.
Well, the saying goes, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And Brisky's been plenty good tonight, and now you add a little bit of luck. I mean, the glove was just there. It just happened to be there, right in the mitt. Easy throw to first for the second out.
Deja Williams steps in and takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Back in 2006, Alabama swept a doubleheader against Florida on this date, 5-0 and 3-1 here in Tuscaloosa. As Lance Mann is going to come out to talk things over with Jocelyn Brisky.
Well, I think he's noticing the same thing I am. The drop ball is a little bit more non-competitive here in this inning. It's starting a little bit lower, and that's an easier take for these Cajun batters. So maybe just coming out to get a checkup, see how Brisky's feeling, and see maybe why the command is kind of loosened a little bit here in the 5th.
Back in 2020, the Tide beat Arkansas 10-2 in 6 innings in the first of 2 run rule wins over the Razorbacks in what ended up being the final week of the season.
Wow.
2022.
You're telling me the first of 2 Carla Heiss games?
Yes. The 1-0 to Williams. There's a strike, 1-1. Last time out on this date, Bama beat Western Michigan 3-1 in a midweek game here in 2023.
I was
might
there.
Might have been a Monday night.
I think it was.
Yeah. The 1-1, slapped and missed, 1-2.
You know, I'm glad you bring up that Arkansas series. We're getting pretty close to that day on the calendar when everything changed in 2020, and still a good reminder not to take what you've got for granted.
1-2 is low, 2-2.
Because, you know, that was a time we were getting ready for, I believe, what was also called the Spring Break Showdown, maybe, or the T-Town Showdown.
The Spring Fling, it was something.
Texas, BYU, Bryant were here, and all of a sudden the season was canceled. And that wasn't that long ago.
2-2. Rise ball high that crossed up Giles, and the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So I bring that up just to say, you know, a good reminder that playing this game, calling this game, it isn't always a guaranteed, and got to relish every moment.
Payoff pitch is high for ball 4, and Williams will draw the 2-out walk, keeping the inning alive for Maddie Hayden, who has had the most success against Brisky so far today with a double and a walk.
Well, and that will cause the steam to come up out of the ears of Patrick Murphy. A walk to the 9-hole, setting up the Cajuns, and Brisky struggling a little bit with that control here in the 5th.
First pitch, that one is fouled away for strike 1. Towards the Alabama bullpen, as I look over, I see both Emily Winstead and Caitlin Riley starting to get loose.
Also Iowa returning.
That is true. The 0-1, low, 1 ball, 1 strike. So I also have to keep that in mind. Alabama does have another game to play. That affects any pitching decisions in this game. The 1-1 to Hayden. That one is a fly ball, shallow left and foul ground. Charging in, making the catch is Vandegrift for out number 3 to retire the side, and the 2-out walk does not hurt Alabama here in the 5th inning.
Well, great job by Brisky not allowing the back-to-back, because let me tell you, if there was ever a chance for a back-to-back, it was right there with Maddie Hayden up. But a good job getting that out. Well tracked down by Vandegrift, and no answer for the Cajuns after Alabama put up the 3 spot.
Here in the 5th inning, the Raging Cajuns, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We stretch in Tuscaloosa, move to the bottom of the 5th, 3-0 Alabama. Here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The fifth inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 3 left for Alabama. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 4 left for Louisiana as we head to the home half of the 5th. Due up for the Tide. Top of the order, Vandergrift, Pruitt, and Papillo against Bethany Noble. Back out in the circle for the Ragin' Cajuns. And the first pitch to Vandergrift is a called strike. Vandergrift 1 for 2 on the day, grounded out in the first, singled in the third.
Scoreboard update. They're in the top of the third in Athens. Still 2-0 Tennessee over Georgia. There's a picker of a Tennessee sweep. Go with it.
It's a touch inside 1-1.
Top of the third, Virginia 3-0 over Virginia Tech. Top of the third, Clemson leads Duke 4-0.
Getting squirrely there for the Blue Devils. The 1-1 is outside, 2-1.
Bottom of the first, no score, Missouri and Kentucky. We do have the starting lineups for Arkansas and Ole Miss. Wachenio, the freshman in the circle for the Rebels. Arkansas going with Robin Herron.
2-1. Vandergrift puts a bunt down, but it's foul.
We also have the starting lineup for A&M Florida. This is notable. A&M going with Emily Kennedy, shocker. Florida is starting Caitlin Oxley, which tells me Keegan Rothrock at least isn't able to go tonight. That is substantial news for one of the best teams in the country, the Florida Gators.
2-2. Vandergrift pokes us to left on the run, and making a sliding catch is Williams for out number 1. Not the prettiest catch in the world, but it'll get it done for Louisiana left fielder, and there's one away. It's also significant news for those of us that picked Florida to sweep Texas A&M.
Well, that wasn't me.
No,
So.
well. Larissa Pruitt steps in. She's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. First pitch low and away for ball 1. Pruitt, the Hartselle native, trying to get things going again. Is low, 2-0.
Also, this is a weird one. Bottom of the first, Florida State 1, Oregon State 0. Just a little matchup between the Noles and the Beavers.
That one is a bit inside, 3-0.
And then coming up later tonight at 8 o'clock, Florida State will take on Oregon. That will be massive. Going to be a lot of fun.
3-0 is outside, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Larissa Pruitt. And some maturity there shown by Pruitt as well, that, you know, not getting the hits that she was getting first couple weeks of the season, but not forcing it there. She's going to walk you, just let her walk you.
I mean, Larissa wants to get a hit. You know, she wants to get off this little situation going on these last 7 games, but the thing that I've really loved about the offense this year in their approach, they are truly taking what they're given.
Yeah.
And Larissa Pruitt, a textbook example of that right there. And who knows, maybe even just getting a walk. Like we saw her take some pitches in that at-bat. She was fouling off earlier, so maybe that was the adjustment she needed to make.
First pitch to Lex Papillo is high for ball 1. Papillo walked in the first, had a fly out in the third. Bama trying to add to their 3-0 lead with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
I remain amazed by people who play this game. When it is close to hitting them, they stand there.
Yeah.
They'll be running for the hills.
2-0 is in there for a strike, 2-1.
Wonder if Lex Papillo just had the red light up until that strike.
Yeah.
Because she was having a word with Patrick Murphy before this AB. I wonder if he was saying you're going to take until she throws a strike again.
2-1. Papillo skies this to left field. Williams is there. She'll make the catch for out number 2. Papillo kind of reached for that one.
Yeah, a little high and away. You know, we've seen kind of the higher stuff be the stuff that Papillo has had those types of outs on. Now, that being said, she's also hit some homers on rise balls, but that time just kind of got herself out a little bit right there.
So 2 outs now with a runner on first for Abby Dukeshire. Runner goes. First pitch is low for ball 1, and the throw goes into center field, but Hayden is there to keep Pruitt at second, but a stolen base for Larissa Pruitt, who now has 10 stolen bases and as many attempts on the year. And the 1-0 count now on Dukeshire, who is 1 for 1. She singled in the first, walked in the fourth, and her pinch runner came around to score on the RBI triple by Brooke Ellistad. The 1-0 inside 2-0.
Scoreboard update. Tennessee has added another single run. It's 3-0 over Georgia, top 3. Georgia went with Lily Backus. It has not gone super well.
2-0 pitch. A little outside. 3 balls and no strikes now on Duke. The 3-0. That's right in there, first strike, 3-1. Three-one pitch. Duke fouls that one away. And the count's full 3-2.
And just fouled back ball 4. That was going to be a rise. That was going to go high. Good pitch by Noble. Those are the good rise balls, kind of in between some of the skyscraper stuff and the one she gave up on the homer to Giles. It just has that up at the last minute.
3-2. Duke fouls that one away. Stays alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs with a runner on second. Bama leads at 3-0 here in the bottom of the 5th, trying to add to it with some 2-out production.
Tied so far in this game, 2 for 5 with 2 outs. 3 for 8 with runners on.
Another 3-2. That is ball 4, low and away. And Dukeshire's walked for the second time today. That will bring up Callie Hevlin, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. First pitch. Hevlin pulls back the bunt. It's low for ball 1. And Alabama, Iowa coming up next.
There's another game.
Roughly 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one.
Oh, goodness.
1-0. Hevlin takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hevlin reaches out and takes that one to deep second, and ranging back to make the catch is Locano for out number 3 to retire the side. Hevlin didn't get all that one, but it almost blooped right in.
Well, Loscano made a great jump. I mean, you have to, because it was off the end of the bat, but it kind of had a little zhuzh on it. And Loscano, again, kind of seeing that immediately, was in the retreat, made a good catch, and good job once again by the Louisiana defense, making sure something doesn't come across. I mean, Alabama, this game could already be over based on all the chances that the Tide has had, but Louisiana's done just enough to keep hanging around and take us to the 6th.
For the Tide in the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. We've played 5. It's 3-0 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. 3-0 Alabama as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Due up for the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana here in the 6th. It'll be 2-3-4. Falterman, Vasquez, and Smith. Against Jocelyn Brisky back out now for her 6th inning of work. Her first pitch of the 6th inning will be her 75th of the ball game. 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts so far for Brisky. First pitch. Pulls back the bunt. It's a called strike, going 1 on Falterman, who is 0 for 1, a sacrifice bunt in the first and a ground out in the third. The 0-1. That one is slapped foul down the first baseline. No balls and 2 strikes. Attention Tide fans in North Alabama and all over the state. The New Wave meet and greet with Brian Williams and Jalen Mbakwe has been rescheduled for Saturday, March 29th at Sand Mountain Park and Amphitheater in Albertville, Alabama. And that's just a touch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan and Jalen will now be at Sand Mountain Park from 2 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, March 29th to meet Bama fans, sign autographs, and pose for photos. Please mark your calendars for this new date. The 1-2. Slap foul into the Bama dugout. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. And 1-2, slap foul. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two. Oh, just misses the touch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Oh, man. It's a good pitch by Brisky. Change up, maybe just a hair outside. That was a good spot, though.
2-2 pitch. That one slapped to second. Havlin makes a stop on the second hop. The throw's in time, and there's 1 away.
Well, if that's the last time Falterman comes up tonight, you're going to be really excited because, you know, that's a player that's very tough to get out. Mentioned it earlier. She's been on base in every game this season, but 0 for 2 with that sac bunt. Tide was able to keep her off the base path so far.
Celia Vasquez steps in, the first pitch. 2 hopper to short. Hawkins is there, the stop and the throw, and there's 2 gone on 2 ground outs here in the 6th.
Scoreboard update, final from Baton Rouge, 2-0. LSU takes down South Alabama, a South Al team that we will see next week.
Bama heads down to Mobile to play the Jaguars on Tuesday. Emily Smith steps in, the first pitch. That's a liner that is going to get all the way to the wall in the left center field gap. Smith will round first, head to second, where she will stand up with a 2-out double. Third hit of the game for Louisiana, the second double, and the second hit of the day for Smith.
Well, Allie told us on the coach call how impressive Emily Smith has been. You know, a youngster who kind of made a statement in fall ball in a game against McNeese and making a statement here tonight.
Laney Crater steps in and fouls the first pitch she sees into the Bama bullpen, where Emily Winstead makes the catch. Crater's 0 for 2, struck out in the second and reached on the fielder's choice in the 4th. The 0-1 is in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. One's outside, 2-1. That one's fouled off. Onto the porch roof. Front of the Alabama clubhouse. First one that stuck up there this year.
Oh, you've been tracking?
Yes. 1 is the current count.
There we go.
Another 2-2. Hard hit ball to second. Evelyn knocks it down, keeps it in front of her, makes the throw in time for out number 3 to retire the side. Good job there by Hevlin to get in front of that one and not panic when she didn't field it cleanly the first time.
Yeah, that one's all about footwork, and Heveling kind of had to go all the way around that. It was pretty much a long run because the ball just kept moving away from her after Crater hit it, but again, kept it in front, knocked it down, and knew she had the time. Didn't have to rush the throw. Just a nice little delivery over to Dukeshire, and another base hit for the Cajuns. Does not allow anything, or rather Alabama after another base hit doesn't allow anything to come across. Very few, if any, back-to-backs here tonight in this game.
For the Raging Cajuns in the 6th, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We move to the home half of the 6th inning. Still 3-0 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. We move to the home half of the 6th inning. Alabama with a 3-0 lead over Louisiana. Due up for the Crimson Tide here in the 6th. It'll be Elisad, Giles, and Hawkins. 6, 7, 8. Bethany Noble back out now for her 6th inning of work through 5 innings. 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 4 walks, no strikeouts, and her first pitch of the 6th inning will be her 92nd of the day. First pitch to Brooke Elistad. Low for ball 1.
May I say something, Tom, real quick?
Oh, sure. Well, you're the analyst. So
look,
go for it.
our old PA pal, Mr. Birdsong, is in his bag tonight.
He is.
And I just wanted to give him a shout-out. Just sold that cereal hardcore.
The 1-0. Elisad swings and misses. 1 ball, 1. I did not know it was National Cereal Day.
I didn't celebrate properly, and I won't because I've got other food that I'm going to eat. In fact, I'm going to show – if you're watching the booth cam, I'm going to show you what Allie brought us.
Oh, ooh. That's a chopper up the middle. Backhand is made by Lacano, but she wasn't able to make a throw. Even if she had, I don't think she would have got her. So an infield hit for Brooke Elistad. She's now 2 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, Lascano was, momentum wouldn't have even allowed her, I think, to make a throw in the general direction.
Right.
And just the right spot for Elistad. Like you said, second hit of the night.
And that will bring up Marley Giles, who really helped out the cause with a 2-run homer in the 4th, 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch, missed inside for ball 1.
So if you're watching on the CTSM booth cam, hello. Thank you to
Yes.
Ethan Carabin for managing. This is what Allie brought to Tom and me. These are Boudin egg rolls,
Oh my gosh.
which, after this pitch,
Giles pops it up to deep short, ranging back to make the catch is Vasquez for out number 1.
in 2019, we went to the Allison Habits compound, the family homestead, and they had these wonderful Boudin egg rolls.
Yes.
And I had probably 20. And Allie and the fam brought us some, and
Yes.
I'm ecstatic.
Got to take them home and microwave a little bit. But
Yes.
Really looking forward to those.
Who gets to keep the note on the to-go box?
Oh. Then Hawkins steps in.
Dibs.
The first pitch is inside for ball 1. Hawkins 1 for 2, doubled in the 2nd, had a foul out in the 4th. Also some crackling over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of Nathan Sheehan's favorites. Hawkins on the hit and run, takes this a shallow left, charging in and making the catch, and doubling off the runner from left field with the throw is a new left fielder, who is, I believe that's Michaela Ferguson, who charged in, made the stop in the throw, and Alabama, just bad luck there, had a hit and run on the wrong play.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a bad piece by Hawkins, just stayed in the air a bit too long. Kind of a bummer, but, you know, this is a situation that we've kind of wanted to see how Alabama would react, right? You know, things haven't necessarily gone all right tonight, but you've done enough to put yourself in a spot to win. Now you've just got to close it out.
For Alabama here in the 6th, no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the 7th inning. The last chance for Louisiana is 3-0 Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. We head to the 7th inning, the last chance for Louisiana. Alabama with a 3-0 lead over the Ragin' Cajuns. Due up for the Cajuns here in the 7th. It'll be Rowe, Liscano, and White. 6, 7, 8 against Jocelyn Brisky. The first pitch to Sam Rowe is swung on and missed for strike 1. As Alabama looking for their first 7-inning shutout of the season. The 0-1 is low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Alabama's only had 2 shutouts on the year. One was in 5 innings, one was in 6. The 1-1 is low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And I think it would also kind of help maybe get over that finishing a game like this hump that this team has struggled with a little bit. And also for Brisky to be the one to get it done.
2-1. A little bit high, 3 balls and 1 strike.
Give you a couple quick scoreboard updates before we get into the latter stages of the 7th inning. Still 3-0 Tennessee over Georgia, top 4. Tied up at 3 Virginia. Virginia Tech go into the 4th.
3-1, fouled away. And the count is full on Rowe. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Bottom of the 3rd, Clemson 8, Duke 0. My gosh. Missouri 1, Kentucky 0. Bottom of the 2nd. Florida A&M underway. No score, bottom 1.
Payoff pitch to Rowe. Soft liner on 1 hop. The stop made by Hevlin. She'll make the throw for out number 1. Charging in, she made the stop, and then the only way she could stop herself and make the throw was to dive after she had the ball and made the throw from a supine position. Got the first out.
Wow, supine.
Yeah.
Well done. Jeopardy guy right here.
Pulling it out.
Yeah, and you know, I love, you know, that's kind of like somewhere between a normal play and a plus play, but Callie still got there in plenty of time and had a nice laugh about it with Abby Duxer after she got up, as Louisiana will dip into the bench and go to a pinch hitter.
Waiting for her to either show me her number or someone announce it.
Oh.
Yeah, number 12 is the number, and that is going to be Gabby Stutz.
It's one of our summer leaguers.
Yes. Redshirt freshman from right there in Lafayette. First pitch in there for a strike.
And Stutz has been on a heater on the year, hitting .364, 12 of 33, 6 RBIs, a couple triples, a double, and 3 runs.
Ground ball to second on 1 hop. The stop made by Hawkins. The throw is there, and there is 2 down. And Louisiana down to their final out.
All right, real quick, I'll get to this. No score, bottom of the first, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and OU South Carolina are out. South Carolina lineups are out. OU going with Kirsten Deal in the circle. Carolina doing something different.
First pitch to Savannah White. Misses for ball one.
We think their ace is Jory Hurd. Carolina's going with Sam Gress in the circle. Interesting. Be tracking that game during the Iowa game later on, so stay tuned for those updates in the next game.
The 1-0. Misses high, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0, fouled away. 2-1 the count now on Savannah White. Graduate from Wicks, Arkansas, the transfer from Campbell.
Yeah. You know, it is, I would say that there is no tougher job for us. Well, hold on. You'll see what I mean in a moment.
2-1. Bunt is down. First base line. Dukeshire makes a stop in the throw to get the out and retire the side. And in the ball game, your final score, Alabama 3, Louisiana nothing.
Well, I was going to say it's harder. Nothing is harder for us than trying to get words out in between pitches for Jocelyn Brisky, because you always need the stopwatch whenever she's rocking and rolling. And honestly, you need a couple things to try and say how good Brisky was tonight. Like, this is a complete game shutout, first shutout in 7 for Alabama, only the second complete game of the year for Brisky. She was really good. No back-to-backs. Didn't even really have a ton of strikeouts or anything like that. She had one nice little string of strikeouts. But for the most part, just got the Cajuns to fall into her trap, get groundouts, get pop-outs. And when there were some hard things on the ground, the Alabama defense was behind her. That's the combination we've been waiting on, and it really showed up tonight.
There were no back-to-backs as far as back-to-back hits, back-to-back walks, anything like that. The only thing was in the first inning, Louisiana was able to lay down a sacrifice bunt to move a runner. That was about the only thing close to a back-to-back that we saw Louisiana get. So a great job by Jocelyn Brisky to get the win. With the win, she improves to 6-5 on the year. Bethany Noble, the complete game loss, she's now 2-4. Alabama improves to 17-6 overall. They're 10-1 here at the Rhodes House, and now that's an 11-game win streak for the Crimson Tide, and the Cajuns fall to 11-9 with the loss. For Alabama, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 5 left. For Louisiana, no runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 5 runners left on base. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Alabama softball postgame report right after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of the University of Alabama and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Alabama. The Crimson Tide comes away with a 3-0 win over Louisiana here on game number 1 for the Crimson Tide. In the 2025 Spring Break Showdown, we'll have full box score breakdown of this game in the pregame of game number 2 between Alabama and Iowa, which is coming up here in just a few moments. So, Gray, we'll just have a quick wrap-up here of game number 1. And a really good performance by Jocelyn Brisky in the circle. Alabama didn't get the number of hits they've been getting in a lot of these wins here in this ball game against Louisiana. Credit to Bethany Noble, the starter for Louisiana in this ball game. But Alabama just out-executed and got a good win here.
Yeah, I would say that Brisky and the defense are the two standouts for me. I also think that Marley Giles home run did a lot to kind of solidify Alabama having the momentum after that first run came across thanks to the Brooke Elistad triple. Louisiana played a pretty good game tonight, but Alabama just made more plays, and the Cajuns couldn't quite figure out how to adjust consecutively to what Brisky was throwing. And for Alabama, look, we can talk a lot about offensive stats and, man, I love scoring 19 runs in a game, but I could make the argument that this was the most complete and overall best performance of the year for the Crimson Tide just because all facets were working. It's the 4th game this season where there hasn't been an error, and Louisiana made a lot of plays that took away even more opportunities for runs and hits that the Tide could have had tonight.
So, again, we'll have a full box score breakdown of this game in our pregame for game number 2 between Alabama and Iowa, which is coming up. It's going to have a 6:38 first pitch, so we'll have an airtime of 6:25 for Alabama and Iowa. That's going to do it for this broadcast. The Bama Softball postgame report. The Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. The CTSN booth camp producer is Ethan Carabin, and our studio engineer has been Wyatt Fulton. For Gray Robertson and everyone here at the Crimson Tide Sports Network, I'm Tom Canterbury saying thank you for joining us as Alabama gets a 3-0 win over Louisiana. Tuning in next as the Tide continues play in the Spring Break Showdown, taking on Iowa. Again, first pitch, 6:38, airtime 6:25 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Until then, roll Tide from Tuscaloosa.